Xerfi Global has recently published a study on world nuclear groups, decrypting an industry rife with challenges and for which the figures do not look good. Nuclear power generation dropped by 4% from 2010 to 2011 to then fall again by 7% from 2011 to 2012. This is 12% lower than the historic high in generation seen in 2006. In terms of the global energy mix, the world's plants generated just over 10% of global power in 2012, which is somewhat of a come down from the historic high of over 17% seen in 1993. This can be put down to the significant decline in nuclear generation in Japan in the wake of Fukushima, compounded by drops in other large markets such as the US, France, Germany, and South Korea. Such drops have political and economic explanations. The Fukushima disaster has shaken up the industry considerably, not only bringing down public confidence in nuclear power plants, but also simultaneously pushing up expenses due to increased safety requirements and thus capital expenditure needs. Indeed, construction and operating costs have shot up and new financing is hard to come by. Furthermore, waste disposal continues to be a black cloud hanging over the industry. Whether treated as waste or reprocessed, used fuel is highly radioactive, and finding storage sites that are viable and accepted by public opinion is easier said than done. Another obstacle is substitutes. Renewable energies such as solar and wind have become much cheaper to build over the last decade, eroding the price advantage that nuclear had previously enjoyed. And in North America, low-cost shale gas is currently king. Despite its steady decline in the amount of electricity generated, as well as its contribution to the global power mix, nuclear remains an essential component of the global electricity landscape, and there is growth to be found for operators if one looks in the right places. Although the Fukushima incident has seen many countries downsize their nuclear ambitions, booming energy demand and environmental agendas have sustained the expansion of nuclear technology generation in others, especially in emerging countries. China, India, and Russia continue to have an appetite for nuclear power, and countries such as Turkey, Bangladesh, or the United Arab Emirates are also getting on the bandwagon. In the medium to long term, China offers the most promising growth opportunities in terms of new builds. Around 30 new units under construction, with another 58 reactors in the planning stage and 118 more proposed. Given the overall picture, competition between nuclear power companies to win bids for new builds has intensified. However, the deciding factor no longer seems to be technological know-how, but rather access to financing. Traditional European, US, and Japanese nuclear vendors face challenges in selling their nuclear technologies in new markets due to rising costs and financing difficulties. One nuclear group that does not have this problem is Russian firm Rosatom. It benefits from generous state subsidies and is a vehicle for Russia's push to become a nuclear champion both at home and abroad. As a result, Rosatom has become the busiest player in the business. Of the 72 nuclear reactors under construction worldwide, 28 are on Rosatom's order books, while competitors Areva and Toshiba have just 4 on theirs. To survive in such an environment, groups can thus no longer count on new builds to bring in the money, and instead are looking to grow organically through the provision of services, diversify into other power plant equipment business, integrate vertically, and bring down costs through operational efficiency. It remains to be seen if such strategies will allow them to weather the challenging situation in the industry.
This report, which has recently been published by Xerfi's Global Business Department, draws on the expertise of our international team. As part of the Global Business Collection, the report provides the information, analysis and forecast required to decipher the key issues of the sector and benchmarks the major players to understand their position on the market. The aim of this research is to measure the attractiveness of the sector and to analyze the competitive forces of the market in today's global economy. It is presented in an easy-to-read format detailing, among other things, the general environment influencing market supply and demand, the intensity of competition, the sector's key players, their financial situation, recent events and strategic approaches, and the future direction of the industry. To order or to find further information on this report or others in our collection, please feel free to consult our website at xerfiglobal.com.